says you're live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Rick Utzler here with GatewayToAirguns and AirgunWeb, and this show is Let's Talk Airguns. Today I have a jam-packed show. I have a ton of notes here, and whether or not we get through them all, we shall see, because we're trying to keep this to an hour, right, hon? Is that our goal?
Correct.
Correct. Now, she's over there doing stuff, and I'm just interrupting her. We have me, and we have Sue. Sue, you should be on screen waving and saying hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to you guys for coming and hanging out with us. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. We'll do our best to get to them. We have Lightspeed in there, and yeah, is this happening now? It is happening now. It's from Salvador there. Also, want to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors, the folks that help us do this. And we're in a transition. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. And so those sponsors that understand our goals and what we're looking to do, I really appreciate you guys, and we're going to talk about them and how they help us do what we're doing. Okay, so before we get too far into things, there's a couple sites I want to mention. One is GatewayToAirguns.org. That is a website that's been around for over 20 years. It is a wonderful airgun forum. It is loaded with a bunch of great folks that just want to help airgunners get the most out of their airgun. So if you're interested in airguns and you want to be part of a really cool community that's really airgun focused with real airgunners, that's a great place to go. And we're not sort of like willy-nilly open like let me explain that. We are open. We want as many people to join as practical, but we do make you jump through a couple hoops to make sure you're a real person and not some bot trying to just, create problems on the site. So when you join up, you're going to have to double authenticate, and then you're going to have to post a little, say, hey, I'm new to the forum, and then that's it. So there are a couple of hoops, but the reason we do that is the people we have on the site, we want them to be real airgunners and not some machine somewhere otherwhere, some who knows where. So check it out. It's GatewayToAirguns.org. Now, we're here on YouTube, and YouTube has been a wonderful place for us to share our content and meet you guys and hang out with you guys. It's what we got, right? But as you guys are probably seeing, or if you own a channel, you have been feeling, this platform may or may not be here forever. And we have no way of controlling the narrative on how our material gets presented, what ads are shown. It was just completely out of our control. So one of the things we're doing is we're really working to make our own websites more feature rich. So we have, like, if you're interested in Airgun Web, we'll talk about what that channel does a little bit later, then you go to AirgunWeb.com. You can watch all of our stuff there without any ads because we stream from Vimeo and we have a paid account, and so you get no ads, which is awesome. We're not trying to monetize that. We just have it there for you guys to enjoy. On the Gateway to Airguns side, we also have a YouTube channel for Gateway to Airguns. We'll talk about what that channel is going to be doing going forward. And we have the same thing. We have GatewayToAirguns.com, remember .org for the forum, .com for our video content. And again, you can watch all of our stuff. And you get to see it, no ads. So if you are interested in getting our content on the regular and want to be part of that and watching it outside of normal social media and not have to endure all the ads, you can do that for free. Just come to our website, GatewayToAirguns.com or AirgunWeb.com. All right, enough for that. Let's talk about a hot topic before we get started. Any questions?
Not yet.
Not yet. Lightspeed, glad to have you here. Yes, we really quickly, we took a little bit of a break, really trying to reorient ourselves. Wouldn't you say, hon?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was reading a question. I mean, not a question, a comment.
Okay.
I want a replica Barrett M82A1 50 cal airgun, and I'm thinking, I'm sure we all do.
No, actually, they made such a thing. Do you remember the guys came over to the house? The Mac 35. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They actually made something like that. I actually know the guys who built something like that. It had some shortcomings, but each shell was the air cylinder, and you put a 35 cal projectile in it, loaded it like a big old. I actually still have one, by the way.
Only one? I thought we had two.
No. We might have two. No, I got rid of mine. I still have yours, your original one. Yes, and you put a big old shell, ka-chunk. It's actually really cool. They made them. They went out of business. So anyway, long story. But there was actually such an animal. Yeah. Okay, so the Yeah, I know, John. Sorry, about time we are back. The whole point is we need to take a little bit of a break to just kind of reorient what we're going to do moving forward. So we'll get to that in a little bit later. But right now, I want to talk about a topic. We're going to get Sue here, and I bet you guys are going to have an opinion. And there was and it lasted like a flash in the pan. So it's pretty interesting how quickly important news gets buried on social media, right? You see, like if it doesn't stay current, people don't keep hammering it, it's gone in 15 seconds. But all of a sudden it popped on people's radar that there's these groups that want to ban non-powder guns, or at least classify non-powder guns as firearms. Well, first of all, that ain't nothing new. They've been doing that for a while. Try and buy a high-powered air gun in Illinois, and it's a firearm there. In New Jersey, it's a firearm as far as they're concerned. So that mindset already exists, and there are laws already on the books that facilitate that mindset. So that's nothing new. What is, I think, kind of scary is that there's a movement, and I very much get the idea of taking a technology that's cool, we all enjoy, and pushing it to the limits. And there's a lot of companies that are trying to make air guns as powerful as, quote, firearms, and then equating the two as the same. Well, when you do that, guess what's going to happen, Sue? People are going to think they're as powerful as firearms, and they're going to start considering them as such. And they're going to try and control them the same way that they do firearms. I don't know about you, but I would hate to have to go do a background check to get my Crossman 2240. I mean, or my McCavity, right? Can you imagine if everybody had to do a background check? And all the places now that sell air guns freely and openly would now have to have entire divisions to run FBI background checks. Is that what we want? I don't want that. I bet you guys don't want it either. Well, there are a lot of creators that are pushing air guns like they're firearms and promoting them as such. And that is just something I would ask other creators to try and think about the big picture here. I know that the YouTube algorithms and the views and how you get paid, that's why you do it. But the big picture here is that you keep doing it and you're just calling more and more and more attention on our industry that has for the longest time really had a lot of freedom. I mean, say, unless you lived in New Jersey and New York and Illinois and probably some other places. But for the most part, like if you're in South Carolina, you can go hunting with I think they call it a primitive weapon down there. You can go hunting and have fun with an air gun. I know Angie has done a lot of shooting with high-powered air rifles and taken a lot of game, and no big deal. And it's very cool to be able to go down and do that. I don't want to lose that freedom. And content creators and companies that continue to push that agenda of, look, this air gun is just as powerful as a firearm, or look what it can do, is scary. Now, I've done some videos recently to show the differences between a firearm, like I had my 22 long rifle and a 22 air gun, or I had my 22 long rifle and I had my 30 cal air gun. And I wanted to show similarities, but also wanted to show that they are very, very different. So look, shooting is a great sport. I enjoy it a lot. I don't want to see it taken away. I want to see as many people as possible be able to get out and enjoy this, the sport, air gunning, or shooting sports in general. So if you have questions or comments here, I'm looking for the live chat here. Is it popped up an ad? Yes.
Okay. I have a follow-up question regarding something you discussed yesterday.
Okay.
A question regarding bipods for the Gamma Swarm Magnum. And you responded that the best result from a spring air guns are achieved through the artillery hold so that it can freely recoil forward and backwards.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the question is yet. I think he's still getting to it.
That's going to be...
Can you please elaborate a little on why holding it with a support hand allows such movement better than a bag?
Yep, I can. I can absolutely do that. Let me finish my thought. There was another question up here that I thought was really good. Lightspeed says, would be great if these live shows could be on one of your platforms so you can handle guns. We are going to do that. Right now, the best bang for our buck as far as getting content out and people seeing it is here on YouTube. We also have Airgun Army, which I pay for. It's a site. It's a community. It's our own private Airgun Facebook, essentially. If you guys haven't checked it out, please do. I haven't been really working it like I should, which is something I'm going to be really putting some attention to, because we need to build it out. We need to create more spaces and more places for people to post stuff that they're interested in. I've only done the bare minimum just to see how the system works and how it'll go, but we can do live shows there. And we will be doing that because we own the entire thing. Well, we pay to have it, but we can do a show. We can do it down the range. We can do here. I could do a full tear down and rebuild live, and be perfectly fine. Then we could take that, edit it, and post it back to YouTube. Potentially, it would be live, so they can't say anything about it. But that is the plan. Just so you know, it's Airgun Army is where we're going to do that. Yes, Sue.
That's AirgunArmy.com.
AirgunArmy.com. Yeah. So, anyway.
He said he's seen many videos of people agreeing with you on the artillery hold. He just doesn't understand how his hand can offer more stability than a bag.
It's not the stability that you're dealing with. It in the traditional sense of keeping the gun stable. It's that the bag allows the gun to slide far more freely than your hand will. Your hand has a natural tackiness to it. Okay, so it's going to hold that gun better. And what you don't want is that fulcrum to shift, right? So if you have a bar and you put it here and it shifts, it's going to change the angle of the dangle. I don't know how else to put it. Same thing if it's back a little bit, it's going to change how that gun reacts. So when you put it on a bag, it's more likely to slide and not have that same consistent fulcrum point. I've actually got this in part of the notes today. We're going to talk about this a little bit later. I mean, I could jump it up now and talk about it now, because it is a topic that people really trying to understand. I'm going to jump ahead to this. Okay. So I'm going to put this stuff on hold. Back really quickly to wrap up the non-powder thing. Guys, when you're looking at things, or you're talking about stuff online, or you're thinking about what kind of content creators you want to support, I get that it's really cool to see a 35 cal air gun that puts out the same power as a 9mm. I get that's cool. It's fun to see. But boy, you talk about drawing attention to our sport in a way that is going to be counterproductive. I can only see that that's going to be what the end result is. So I would really ask content creators, especially those that are going after the YouTube algorithm and views, and that's how they earn the money. I get it. I need to talk about that too. I understand it. You're catering to somebody, which is you want those views so you get that paycheck. I get it. Because that's what sponsors want. I mean, that's what manufacturers want. That's what retailers want. They don't want to pay for quality content in the sense of something that's evergreen, that's going to develop a proper, it's going to give you a return over time. They want that return within the first week, and it's very difficult to do that. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Danny's saying you can use a bag with your artillery hold. That's what I do. I use a bag, put under my hand, put the gun on my hand. All right. So here's a topic. We'll move on from the other thing. If you guys have any comments about that new push about non-powder guns, throw it in there, and we'll get back to it. I was thinking today as I was walking the dog this morning, how can I explain the relationship between you and your gear? So many people want to blame their gear for their inability to get good results. I was one of those guys when I first started, right? So I had shot 22 long rifle. It was, pretty simple, point and shoot, right? I got a break barrel and I just struggled. And I thought, oh my gosh, the gun's no good, or the scope's no good, or pellet's no good, or whatever it is. Now, the first gun I had was a Remington Genesis, and it was no good because it developed a little bit of a problem, and that the screws that hold the barrel joint together loosened up and the barrel would wiggle. So that's definitely was a gun problem. Then I got a Gamma Hunter 440. That was not a gun problem. That was a me problem. And I had to learn the techniques I'm talking about, artillery hold and so forth, so that I could get better with the gun. Now, over the years, I have gotten to where I can shoot a break barrel pretty well. sometimes I have to go back and relearn. If I've been shooting PCPs for 6 months and haven't touched a brake barrel, I got to go back and spend some time on the range to remember. It's kind of like riding a bike. You do remember it, but it does take a little practice to get back to it. But yeah, it is a thing where I bet most of the time your inability to see the kind of results you think you should be getting is far more about you than your gear. Here's something to think about. I think bow hunting is great. And I did it like once or twice when I lived in Vermont, and I had a compound bow and I never saw a deer, which is probably a good thing. I wouldn't know what to do with it once I shot it. But my brother-in-law, he was the guy who was going to take care of that part of it.
You eat it.
I eat it, yes. There's all the stuff you have to do before that, like quarter it, and carry it out, quarter it, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, field dress it, and everything else. I would do good to hit the broadside of the barn standing inside the barn. I mean, that's about how good I am with a bow. Not good. Now, I've seen some people take a bow and be able to pluck pheasant out of the air with it. Now, is the bow junk or my skill set junk? Right? So you have somebody who knows their equipment, knows how to make it work, and has spent some time in it, and has developed the skill set to do some pretty crazy things. It's their skill set that helps them do that, not the equipment. Now, equipment can help. All right, there is a margin that it can assist you with, but that really comes down to your skill set. And if you are brand new, especially if you're a firearms person transitioning to air guns because you want to shoot in your backyard or you just want to save money, there's a dog hair on my thing, then I get, especially like I was, 22 long rifle, I knew exactly what I was going to get. I could shoot, there's no problem, it was accurate, all that stuff. And I moved over to air guns, and I really struggled. A great story, and maybe we can have her up to talk about it, was Angie. She had all but given up trying to hunt game with an air gun because she had had one failure after another. And because she was treating her air gun like a firearm. It is not. It is not that at all. It is more like bow hunting, and maybe if you have a really powerful air gun, it's more like black powder, but it's more like bow hunting. And that's a challenge. There's a reason people, it's hard to do. It's a reason people take it up as a challenge, because it's a big one. It's a huge challenge. So what I have found, if I can work with somebody, even if it's just a short period of time, 15, 20 minutes to half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, and give them some basic principles on how to really, the starting points of then developing a broader skill set, it really helps. And then all of a sudden they just watch their group shrink. And that comes from, first of all, you want to do is get in close. If you're brand new with an air gun, don't shoot at 50 yards. I'm speaking brake barrels here, okay? So if you're brand new, you got your Walmart brake barrel, you just brought it home, and you set your tin can at 50 yards, and by the end of the day, you're taking it up like a baseball bat and smacking it because you couldn't hit it. Maybe. No, don't do that. Start at 10 yards, okay? Start at 10 yards with a piece of paper and get to where you can put all your shots in a quarter. And when you can put all your shots in a quarter, then back it up to 15 yards and do it again, and back up to 20 yards and do it again, back up to 25 yards and do it again. That's how you're going to learn the skill set. The technique I talk about and mentioned to a gentleman here on Salvador, I guess, when you learn the artillery hold, you are letting that gun do all it's going to do, but you let it do it the same way every single time. And I learned it from Tom Gaylord. He's the godfather of airguns. He's who I learned it from. I don't know if he coined the phrase or what, but he's who I learned it from. And yeah, because I did like bags, pillows, rubber mats rolled up and stuff. I tried all kinds of things. I even did the whole, had a wood gun, put a sling stud in it, tried to use a bipod on a brake barrel. I did all of that, and it did not work. What worked was learning the artillery hold and learning how to do it properly and working with the gun until I figured out its secrets to get the accuracy out of it that I wanted. Yes, Sue.
I have a comment.
Okay.
As somebody who does not shoot very often, but when I do shoot, I want it to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we went shooting, when was it, last week?
Yeah, last weekend.
And you pulled out a gun, and I tried to shoot at 100 yards. And I got really disappointed because it
She was
wasn't.
frustrated.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this is my gun that I love, and it always does well. And here it's not doing well. And so, did I say it was a great gun, and now it's not? And I was getting really frustrated. And we moved back to 50, and then back to 25, and then you let me kind of let me go because he kind of has to. I'm his wife. And, but you let me go back, and when I got back to, I think it was 15.
We shoot at 25 yards. 25
okay,
yards
25.
out. Yeah.
And there was success after success after success. It's a lot easier to start closer and have success and want to keep doing it.
Now, on the other side of that, so I set her up. All right. And this, well, I set myself up because when we had AirgunExpo, I put the ATN Excite 5 on her gun. Well, it wasn't her gun at the time.
The
And then
ATN Excite 5, that is mine, on my gun.
She can have the gun. She can't have the scope yet. Of course, our anniversary is coming up, and who knows what might happen. Seriously, that scope is super nice. It has a really good...
it really is.
It has a really good mil dot first focal plane reticle that's easy to see. The screen is great. She has not learned, much like brake barrels and learning the artillery hold, if you've never really used a scope and like I hand her a first focal plane Frontier 5 to 25, throw it on 25, she's not going to get eye relief. She's just going to see, it's just a black dot. I can't see anything. It's because she hasn't got the muscle memory of how, and she's lefty, so she's right-handed, left eye dominant. So she's already got like all kinds of stuff working against her. She's a weirdo. But if she's lining up, she doesn't know how to get the proper eye relief. Well, that's on me because I should have never let her look through the Excite 5. I should have only ever given her something that could help her develop the muscle memory to get the proper eye relief so that you can see through the scope properly. That's on me. I should not have done that. But now the Excite 5 is a really nice scope. There's a reason I like using that scope. She can't have that one.
Me too.
And it's the 5 to 25. So it's like really clear. You can get a good zoom without it being all a pixelated mess. It is really nice. And the screen or the eyepiece is super forgiving. It's not like a scope where you have to be like perfectly on it. You have some range of motion that allows you to see that and have like easy success. So when she has her gun with the Excite 5, she's banging away at 100 yards all day long.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
But I moved her to a different ATN optic, a previous model, and it was the LTV, the entry level one. I thought it would work. I like it, works for me, but it doesn't have the same reticle. She just could not use the thing. So yeah, I'm going to get her set up with a traditional optic. We'll make her learn how to use that. And then we'll talk about getting the Excite 5 back to her. And I've already talked to ATN. We're going to see if we can work something out for her.
Hi, ATN.
But yeah, I love their scopes. I was shooting.
They're really awesome.
I was shooting a video today. It was shooting a great backyard, awesome gun. Super affordable. The scope's 3 times the price of the gun on this one, and the gun's like $200. So it was the Gamma Aero 177, and I was shooting knockdown targets out to 40+ yards with that thing with the ATN optic, the one she had a struggle with, but I don't struggle with it. It works really good for me. But that's because I got this depth of experience she just doesn't have. The same applies like with your brake barrel stuff. So if you learn, I'll tell you, if you can learn how to shoot a brake barrel well, then everything else you shoot beyond that, you're going to shoot great. Because the skill set required to do that translates way off to just about anything you ever want to shoot. Any other questions? I haven't been paying attention.
No, just Jim said he sent a few pictures of his sight of the Gamma.
I saw that.
Magnum Pro.
I saw that on Facebook. Yep.
He said, "What can you tell me about how to improve my groupings?"
Let me see. I don't know if I've logged into Facebook on this, so I don't put my screen up, okay?
I won't.
I haven't logged in. It's gonna block. It's gonna like ask me for stuff.
Do you want me to do it on here?
No. WKQSH. That's not my password. Just relax. It's the stupid make sure you're human thing. It might sum up. You need two-factor authentication. Yes. Waiting for your approval. Okay. Let me say, yes, it's me. Yes, it's me. Because I'll look at it real quick here. Finish. Okay.
If anyone has questions, please put them in the chat.
Yeah. Save.
And I'll interrupt Rick and
trust.
have
Yes.
him answer them.
Let me just zip over because I did see those. As you know, I responded to them. Let's see. First of all, I thought.
I'm not showing your screen.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
fine.
Want me to,
No. I need to switch accounts. Okay, and then switch accounts. Oh yes, Facebook is wonderful. Don't lose your page. I don't want to lose my page. Stop threatening to take it away. It'll be fine. We have a strike on our Facebook page that was like from a bunch of years ago that I don't know what they expect us to do. I can't. They've already removed it. Okay, so it looks like you've got the same gun I've got, sort of the with the kickstands.
Can you open it so we can see it, or?
Oh yeah, you can show my screen.
Okay.
So it looks like you've got two guns. You've got the kickstand gun, which did pretty good at 15 yards. It's a quarter. You'll get better just with trigger time and practice and consistency. And then your Magnum was a little bit bigger. The Magnum, especially if you got the Magnum in 177. Did you get? No, you got the Magnum in 22. Is that right? It looks like you've got 22 cal pellets. So those will do very well. I don't know if you were shooting the pellets that came with it. They're garbage. They're really not good.
Oops, wrong camera. Sorry.
But the red fires, you may find they do really, really well for you. Just try them. The best thing you're going to do with being able to get that group to shrink, stay at 15 yards and just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Check your stock screws. One thing about your equipment that will let you down, the stock screws that hold the forearm together, the screw that holds the receiver down, make sure those stay tight. Make sure your scope screws stay tight. Those will loosen up, especially on a gun like the Magnum. You got to stay up with that. I can't tell you how many times, poor Angie, how many times, and I've done it myself, that's why I know. Angie will come to me, she used to come to me when she was working for me, and she would say, I just can't get this gun to shoot. It was shooting great the other day, and I just can't hit anything. Angie, check your stock screws. She would say some interesting words, and then you go call me back. It's working now. So just make sure you keep track of your stock screws because those loosen up, and that gun's all sloppy in the action, and it will just wreak havoc on your accuracy. It will just mess you up. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, he's got 22. Cool. Hey there, Kyle. All right, so what do we got going on here? You off my screen now?
I'm off your screen.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm just on.
Let's talk about something fun. We talked about all that heavy stuff, and let's talk about something fun. Speaking of brake barrels, what a nice segue. Speaking of brake barrels and scopes and recoil, we have something here. You can show the angle up there if you like, Sue. We have something here from Scope Angel. Now, these folks reach out to me.
There you go.
These folks reach out to me, and I have not tested these yet. Just letting you know.
Flip the cans, too.
Flip the cans. Yes, different cans, different story. Okay. That reverse recoil kills scopes. If you put a nice scope on a brake barrel that's not designed to be on a brake barrel, you will not have a nice scope for long. It will trash it. Diana came out with what's called their bullseye mount. I think it's, I don't know where it came from. I just know Diana was the first place I put my hands on it, and it worked okay. It was great for basic hunting accuracy. It did not hold up well in my extended tests, and I don't think I ever got around to doing another video on that because I had to send the gun back. But it didn't hold up like long term for like the length of time I had it, right? It started to get a little sloppy. Now, it would still fine for hunting. Do that, no problem. But if you want to target shoot and maintain like super precision, it sort of started to wear out over time. And the whole mechanism is something that I could see, yeah, I could see why it would do that. If you shoot casually and you're hunting with it, you probably never notice it. But I like shooting paper, and I like to get teeny tiny groups. And anything that they give me a teeny tiny groups, yeah. So these are supposed to do the same thing as the bullseye mount, which is to absorb recoil, but they are designed with extremely good tolerances, and they return back to the exact position. That's what they say on their site. You can show my screen here. Okay. Yeah, so you can put whatever, so from what they're telling me, I guess we're going to test it. You put whatever scope you want in this. Use these mounts, you're not going to kill your scope on your Magnum brake barrel. So let's take a look. These are the same. They're just different. One's dovetail, one's Picatinny. So there's that. Okay, so here is the mount. All right, so there you go.
And forward.
Forward.
There you go.
That. So as you can see, it's going to mount like this. Okay, your scope goes here, looking that way. When the gun fires, right, the scope is going to want to roll off. They have it mounted that way, and I'm still trying to figure out how that works. But essentially, you have this really heavy spring, right, and it's very significant. And this bounces like that, and then returns, and it's, and like I said, it's supposed to index exactly the same. I will tell you that the tolerances on these rails are extremely tight. I mean, it is very stiff. And I can see why this would work better long term than the Diana bullseye mount. These are the elephant in the room with these. Okay, they're expensive. They're 120 bucks. So that is a lot of money.
How
for
much?
120.
Ouch.
Okay, it's $120 for a scope mount. Now, when we're used to getting mounts for $15, right? I mean, I'm a cheapskate. I'm really frugal when it comes. For some things, I don't mind spending whatever, but other things, I don't know, brain disconnect. You know, I'm willing to forego a high-end mount and just get some $15 cheapies off of Amazon, and I'm happy with them. Of course, I'm putting them on a PCP. As long as they're straight, doesn't matter, right? No recoil. But when you're going to your brake barrel, and it's a Magnum brake barrel, and you want to have a nice scope on it, right? Because you get these scopes, and you buy this nice Hawk scope, and you don't want to trash it, right? So how do you do it? Well, supposedly, this little guy here is the answer, and we are going to be testing these. This one here is the dovetail, and I'm going to put this one on my Cometa. I have a Cometa 177, and it actually, it's not a super Magnum, but I want to start small and work my way up to like my Gamma Magnum, for example. But I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. It's got, looks like you've got a slotted rail here. Looks like it could be one of those dual rails, but I don't know that I'd want to run anything but slotted on this because there's no stop pin place here. Anyway, so I'm going to try these out. Scope Angel, you guys can see how that whole process is going to roll. We're going to be doing those videos on Gateway to Airguns. Probably share my results here on the lives. Oh, by the live streams, yeah, John is, and I think John's absolutely right. John's saying 120 bucks isn't all that much to save an expensive scope. And that's the sort of programming I need to do in my head, because I agree with you. You're absolutely right. If it saves your scope and you don't have to keep buying them, then yeah, $120 is actually a really good investment. So that's the that's the dovetail mount. I'll show you the Picatinny one.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are the Hades monsters a heavier version of the Hades Diablo?
Yes, we're going to get to those in a minute. Stop peeking at my stuff. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think these mounts.
There you go. Okay.
These mounts here are going to be, I think, a major deal. If they hold up and work and they do what they're saying, and all I can tell you is what they've told me, because I haven't tested them yet, but they do have me intrigued, and they were kind enough to send me a couple. This is the Picatinny one. It's a really nice case. Okay, first of all, these are not like mass-produced in China. These are hand-assembled and tested, every one of them. So this is a boutique product.
Can you hand me one?
In a boutique industry. Yeah, this is not a cheapy mass-produced Chinese thing. This is something somebody actually has built because they love the sport, and really, I mean, it's very, very cool how all of this goes together. And we'll be we'll be checking it out. I'm very excited to see how this is going to go. One of these is going to go on my Hatsan Model 3530 cal. Yeah, that's if there's a gun that's going to test it, there's going to be that one. And then we'll see how we do on the dovetail one. What do you think?
I like their logo.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. Okay, so that's that. Have we got any questions?
Is this what am I thinking? Is it made with a thingamajig? The guy we know who went to excuse me while I act like my mother.
3D printed?
Yes, that.
No, it's not 3D printed.
Okay.
No, this is like.
Is it metal?
It's metal. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I couldn't tell that we're not just looking at it.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's high durability.
Okay,
yeah. Mil specs type. I think it's aluminum. It's like the rails are steel and stainless probably. And it's
a weird thing to say, but it looks pretty.
It looks pretty. Hey, there we go. If I can get her down the range shooting some more, I'm happy. So she doesn't shoot break barrels, so she's strictly a PCP person.
Way too much physical.
She and Travis
required.
She and Travis get along great. She wants to be able to blow on the trigger and it fire. She wants AI guided pellets that always hit the bullseye every time. I mean, she doesn't want much.
No, I want to actually do the shooting and actually learn how to shoot better. But yes, I do like a light gun with a 2-stage trigger that shoots accurately every time.
Yep.
Not requiring much. Hey, I've found 2.
What, you found what now?
I've found 2 of them. 2
air guns you like?
That shoot accurately every time I shoot them.
Yep. The McCavity?
The McCavity
and the air arms.
The air arms.
Yeah, she does like air arms. You need to get her behind Day State. We'll get her. We've got a really nice Day State board to play with.
I haven't gotten to shoot my Day State.
You don't have a
Day State, mind you.
No. She's talking about my Red Wolf. Now, I did buy it with under the auspice of, this is your gun, honey.
Exactly my point.
I am a taker-backer of things.
I have it on audio and video now.
No,
so.
she does not. Let's talk about these pellets. So first of all, thank you to Joe. Thank you to JSB. Really quickly on this topic, another segue. Let's talk about sponsorships just for a minute. So we've had a complete reconfiguration of our business model here on the airgun side of things. Years ago, I did this as a hobby, and then it turned into a business, and now it's going back to being a hobby. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop producing content, but the content I produce is going to be with a different motivation. I still have sponsors that help fund what we do because it costs money to do this, and I often will pay my sister to edit or publish or stuff. So I do have, it's not just my time I'm investing, I actually have out-of-pocket funds to make this stuff happen. So yeah, we've had a pretty significant change in our sponsorship. So we have some great sponsors that are with us, and we want to thank them. And they are guys like, yes?
Can you just say the name of the scope mount again, please?
Scope Angel.
Can hold it up to the top camera so I can show the card inside so that they can see the logo. Because sometimes when you search something online, knowing what the logo looks like is helpful. Forward. There you go. That's good.
Look good?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
great. Thank you.
So, sponsors. We have some great sponsors. Like a great sponsor is Gammo. Gammo Daisy, now Gammo Daisy Crossman Benjamin BSA. Woo! All of that is now one umbrella. Interesting how that's going to play out over time. But they fund what we do, and they provide me a budget and say, Rick, we trust you. You go do cool stuff, and we appreciate you. Those are the sponsors I'm looking for right now, and I have several, and I'm super appreciative of them. Gammo Daisy, Crossman Benjamin BSA, they're in that group. We have JSB Pellets, or Predator Pellets, are in that group. Hawk Optics is in that group. ATN Optics is in that group. And we have a lot of others. We have John over at New England Airgun who helps us with the GTA and is part of that solution. We have Airguns of Arizona who helps us with that type of deal. So we have a base of some great sponsors that help us do what we do here. What we've had to change, and I talked about this last night, it was a couple weeks ago, Gammo struck both my channel on YouTube and the GTA channel for promoting the sale of, quote, dangerous goods. And what that really boiled down to is there's a video we had published some years ago that had a link to Crossman.com in it, and they considered that us selling firearms or the potential sale of a firearm, and they struck the channel. You get a couple of those, you're done. I mean, done. There's no one to talk to. There's no recourse. They've made their decision, and you're done. And that's it. Your livelihood, your existence is over because someone there decided that's what was going to happen. Well, I've already been down that road. I've already had that happen back in 2018 when all the airgun channels got taken down because of a particular left-focused liberal perspective group came in and just wreaked havoc. My channel, like I said last night, has never recovered from that. We've never gotten to back where we were before that happened. And that is why we're putting so much effort and investment into Gateway Airguns, Airgun Army, our .com websites, our relationship with Vimeo, and these places, so that in the event that YouTube does something like this, or Facebook or whoever, we're already in Facebook jail from something that happened 2 years ago, and we're limited. We can't do stuff, and I have no means to deal with it. I mean, it should have fallen off my account, I don't know, 6 months ago, and it's still there. So with all of that, I don't want to be beholden to their narrative. So we're putting a lot of effort and energy to maintain what we're doing on our own terms. Okay, we're going to keep using YouTube and these other things as long as we can because that's where the eyeballs are. But we're also going to be securing our stuff over here. So great sponsors help us do that. And so we're going to, let you guys know who they are. As we get new ones, we're going to let you know. And right now we've got some really good sponsors, and I really, really do appreciate it. We have a question or comment?
We have a couple things.
Okay.
We have
Jason?
Yes, Jason. He said he found us again after years. He watched you with Tom Gaylord in the round table. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
That was
a lot of fun too.
Back in the day, they're like 2000. I don't even remember.
14 or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Question: have you had a chance to check out the Umarex Primex air rifles? I
have not. Right now, we do not have a relationship with Umarex. Just straight up. We used to. They are. I can't blame a company for going in a direction that is not the direction I want to go. And these companies. First of all, the market has gotten really, really hard, really hard to make a buck. So they have to be extremely particular on where they spend their sponsored dollars and where they send samples and all that kind of stuff. Now, the relationship I have with them, if there's something really unique, they'll send me one for me to use. Like they sent me the Zealous, and that's a great gun. I'm going to do more work with the Zealous. I love that gun. It's so much fun. Is that the one I liked? You've never shot the Zealous. We had the Notos. I gave that to my ranch foreman. That was a fun gun. Anyway, the Zealous is just a super nice gun. So I do have a relationship, but it's not one that I'm going to get their new stuff right off the rip, generally speaking. So that is, it just is what it is. Hopefully that'll change over time. I mean, we haven't burned any bridges with folks that I'm aware of, but they're going for more the 50,000 views on TikTok in a weekend kind of creator. I'm never going to be that. Right? That's never going to be my thing, nor do I want it to be my thing. That's a flash in the pan. It's here today, gone tomorrow. I'd much rather create content that you find 5 years from now and it's still relevant. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to be doing. And that's what my sponsors are going to let me do, which is I'm going to get back to this in a way that it's something I enjoy doing instead of just a drudgery that I have to go do stuff. It got that to me, frankly. That's why I had to take some time off. I had to take some time off to get my head around what I want to do going forward. And things sort of made that choice for me. Where this is not going to be my full-time job anymore. The revenue doesn't support that. And we get nothing from YouTube. I think we get a couple $100 from YouTube. After YouTube takes their cut and the other company I work with takes their cut, I get less than $200 most of the time. So that's right. Nobody's going to work 120 hours to get $200. Yeah, not going to happen. So there's no avenue for me there. The sponsors, the big sponsors I had, Gambo's a big sponsor. The the other sponsors that we had, they've moved on because they want that flash in the pan. They want the guys that they get the views. I understand. Now, whether or not they're doing responsible content, and that's for, really their marketing department to decide. Some of it I question. It goes back to the things we were talking about earlier. When the channel's whole focus and their content is promoting air guns are as powerful and as bad as badass as firearms, and look what I can do. This is lethal. Let's talk about the lethality, and you can kill things and kill people. And if somebody comes to the door, I'll use my air gun. And yeah, I mean that is I think counterproductive. That's a very short-lived benefit marketing choice. So I'm going to do what I've always liked doing. I like to inform, educate, and I like to hold manufacturers accountable and keep them honest. And that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I did that in the beginning. I've always tried to do that. And now, I have, like I said, I have a group of sponsors that say, here's some budget, Rick. You keep doing what you're doing, and we're glad to help you. And so that's what we're going to keep doing. And I'll let you guys know, those guys, that you guys can go let them know that you appreciate it. I would appreciate that. So any other questions?
Nope. Somebody's been watching you since the beginning, since you first reviewed the Hudson 125 25 cal, probably over 10 years
now. If you want to see something, you want to get a good chuckle, I leave these videos up purely for me to go back and go, oh, what a yahoo. Go back and look at the ones where I'm standing in my shorts, barefoot in my backyard in South Carolina, with my little easy up and my goats and my cats running around. That's a hoot. Yes, back before HD. Yeah, so there you go. That's a lot of fun back there. But he did some cool guns too.
2007 you started.
I did. Actually, my first video on YouTube was 2008. I started shooting air guns and writing about them in 2007. Six, yeah.
Six, before Naomi was born.
Yeah, so it's been almost 20 years going on it. I want to talk about these pellets, goodness. And we're going to run out of time. Okay. So there's one more pellet I'm waiting on. I got to call Joe. I got this wonderful care package from Predator Pellets. Thank you, guys. And we got some knockouts. These are the Mark II 177s. They got a little skirt on them.
You want to hold them up so that people can
we've
see
got, so that's these guys.
Actually, let me take
Do you see
out
that?
the picture. Tilt it towards this way. There you go.
That good?
Yeah, because the light was reflecting.
So that's the new Mark IIs. Super nice. I cannot wait to get these out on the range. I'm actually looking to get a high-powered 177. So I have a bunch of 177 stuff I want to be doing. I shot 3 videos today. Am I done with these now? Can I put them down?
Yes, you can put them
thank
down.
you.
And pick up the next one.
These,
so
these are the Hades monsters. I want to do
up just a little. Thank you.
I want to do more.
It's not focusing. There you go.
Got it?
Yes.
I want to do more with 177 because it's a great, affordable, super affordable. Gosh, those are heavy out there.
I should have just said no. We're not
we're not dead yet. Thanks.
Keep holding it up.
Payback for taking your scope away. I want to do more with 177s. I really enjoy it. I have the Coyote 177, which is a 100-yard 177 PCP. Super nice gun. I love that gun. But I'm looking for a couple others that I can round out my 177s with. I have an Air Arms. I have that Coyote. I have a couple others that I want to do. I've got some requests out to folks as well. I think McCavity makes their long their MA2 long in a 177. I'm hoping to get one of those. I have the JTS. Although JTS really set theirs up to be more of a cream puff, kind of low velocity, high shot count, which is fine. It's fine. But I'm looking for something that I can drive out to 100, maybe over 100 yards, maybe do some pesting with. That's what I want. Anyway, I need to get Joe out here because he knows how to do all that. So anyway, Joe sent me these new slugs. The other pellet and the new monster. So these are 22 monsters. Excuse me, Hades.
You're holding them up, and I'm not on the camera.
Catch up, woman.
Okay, I'm there now.
So these guys are heavy. So the 22 original monsters were 15.89, and those are great, but we need more, right? We need some more smackdown. I got a whole sleeve of these from Joe, and we are going to be having some fun with those down at the range. I'm trying to figure out what gun I want to put them in, because those are 24 grain. Well, excuse me, 25.4 grain. Yeah, I'm thinking of all kinds of cool stuff. I can put that in and turn it up to 11 and see what kind of energy we can get. Those I would, if I had the right gun, I'd shoot coyote with those, because that Hades hollow point front end is going to just be vicious on game.
So Rick,
yes,
once it warms up a little bit, we should do a night hunt. We
should do a night hunt.
We should start putting out some food for the coyotes. Number one. Number two, once it warms up a little bit at night, maybe we could do another shoot down at the range. That was fun when we did that.
Yeah, no,
a live one.
We're set up for that. We put lights down there, and we've got overhead camera mount, and we've got all the gear. We can go down there and absolutely do a fun night shoot. I can run the video out of the ATN directly into the board. And if you guys want to see something like that, where we go down, we couldn't do it here, but we'd have to do it on Airgun Army or Vimeo. We do it live on Vimeo. We could do it there. So if you guys want to see something like that, put it in the comments. If you'd like to see a live night shoot, yeah, we can do that. Those are fun. Those are super fun. We'll go down the range, put some ATN optics on, put the IR lights, and just go to town and have some fun. The X-Sight 5s actually have USB-C with HDMI out, which is really freaking cool. So I could pipe it right into our video switcher and show you guys what I'm seeing through the scope in real time. It's so freaking cool. So if you guys would like that, yeah. Yes.
We have a question. Are they making the Hades monsters in 25 cal? I
don't know yet. I can ask Joe. I can tell you that probably if these are successful, they probably will. This is about like 40 grain, I guess they'd be. The Hades in 25 are already heavier, aren't they? Aren't they already kind of like that? Let me see. I don't think they're the same as the Kings. No, let me see. Where am I going to look these up? I'll just go, oh, shoot.
Do you have a Sumatra 2500 in 22?
No, I have one in 25. My 25 will almost do 100 foot-pounds in 25 caliber. That I should run. If they did Monster Hades, holy crap. I shoot slugs in it. I shoot the Hunter Supply slugs, forgot what the weight they are of those things, but I don't remember off the top of my head, but the hollow points in that thing will almost do 100 foot-pounds. Pretty impressive. Okay, let's do Hades.
Kyle said if you have a Sumatra 2500 and 22, then I would try those new pellets in that.
I tell you what I do have is I have a Seneca Aspen, I think, in 22, which is the next generation. I actually really like the Aspen. I know purists love the Sumatra and thought the Aspen was like a departure. I really like the Aspen better. Is it the Aspen? Not the Aspen. Eagle Claws. Forgive me.
Eagle Claw.
Eagle Claw, not Aspen. I apologize. Forgive me. The Eagle Claw I really like. That's the follow-on to the Sumatra. And I like the angle better. I like the cocking lever better. I like the gun better than I did. I have a Sumatra 25. I'm trying to do. I might have a 22. I don't know. That's in my special gun case. Those guns are in a special case. They're not in the rest of my inventory. They're kind of squirreled away somewhere. So I have to find them. Let me try this. Let's see. Hades 25. The Hades are, they're already heavier. So like your standard 25 cals are 25.4. These are 26.54. So they're already heavy. Yeah. So are they going to go heavier? Maybe. I don't know. They're already monster-ish in the design. You want me to show
your screen?
You can. So, like, there's the Hades Monster 22s, and then these are the 25s. So, I don't know. I think we should do like a whole series on what guns I have and what shoot these.
Oh, heck.
What? Well, he sent me 10 sleeves.
I'm sorry.
10 tins.
10 tins is not going to cover how many guns you have. Seriously, you've got like 2 connexes and a whole nother building and one in the wall here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's at least one more in here somewhere. And how many at home? 2?
I don't know. Jim was saying he'd love to get his hands on X-Sight 5, just been out of his price range. One of the things I'll say on the ATN, check out the refurbished stuff because it comes with all the accessories and all the goodies and all the stuff. But you'll save a few $100. So check that out. I would not hesitate to buy that refurbished. And Kyle say the Eagle Claw is lower power, but it handles nicer. I agree completely. It's definitely took the edge off the power output, but the handling to me and the quietness, right, because it has a shrouded barrel, right out of the gate, I like it better. I like it better.
Jim asked that would go about 4 hours, wouldn't it?
What that? I like a night shoot or a night video.
Oh, gee willikers.
That will go 4 hours. I don't know. Jim, what are you talking about? So that our John, John, let me know what you're talking about so I can answer you properly.
Yeah, because if it's a night shoot, no.
Nick's asking 250 or in 25 cal. Man, these freaking ads. I'm watching the chat on my YouTube channel here.
Yeah.
It's actually popping up.
You have a comment in here.
All my guns. Oh my gosh. I have probably, and I am not exaggerating, probably 300 guns, plus or minus a couple dozen. We did a count just in my room, just in my one workshop. Before I have 2 Connexes and another workshop, and I have guns that are still in storage in Havasu that I haven't moved here yet.
Don't tell them where.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not insured. The workshop, going around just counting them off the walls, we hit 75 just in the workshop.
So let's just be clear. If you haven't shot an airgun that you're interested in shooting, come out to the ranch.
Absolutely.
We
she's not even
seriously
kidding.
invite you guys out. I mean, it's a track, but we seriously invite you guys out because Rick has them. He is very happy to pull them out and let people shoot them. So do come out. We're happy to have you guys come out.
We're looking to do, if you're in this area, the El Paso area, we're looking to do a like a monthly airgun shoot. And it may just be me and my wife for the first little bit. But if you're out this way and you want to come visit and shoot, come on, man. We've got plenty of air, plenty of guns, plenty of pellets. So if you guys want to come out and have a fun weekend, we have a campground we've got right here on the property. So yeah, we are open if you guys want to come out and hang out. And that's some of the things we're going to be doing with Gateway Airguns too, is getting back the fun shoots again. Now, we are way out in the middle of nowhere, and I know a lot of people, well, GTA is spread all over the country, but there's like pockets of more people like in the East Coast than there are out here. I get it. But I have the facility here. I have a campground at my disposal. I have 40 acres at my disposal. I have a private range that we don't have to go pay somebody for. Yeah, so I have stuff here. I get that it's a trek, but if you want to come out, yeah, come on out. So, John was saying Scope Angel Mount really protects scope companies from replacing scope. It's a good thing for them. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about getting these on some guns to see how they do. We're basically out of time. I did not get through my list of stuff, Sue. So we'll have to come back to it next week.
You have a minute and 40 seconds. Go.
I'm not going to get it. Forget it. I will just say this, and then as we wrap up, with the reorganization of what we're doing, I can already tell you that my attitude towards things has gotten better. When I'm not looking to this as the thing that's going to pay the bills every month, and I have to keep all of this tension and pressure and all this stuff, or I put in here kind of a funny line. I said, "Make airguns fun again," right? Because for me, that's actually kind of where I'm at now. Airguns, this whole thing, it's a hobby for me. It needs to be fun. It needs to be something where I get to meet cool people and we get to fellowship and have a good time together and share our experiences. And it needs to be far more like, hanging out with family. And that's what I want to do. What?
Backroads Airgunning says, if Rick is too far, I only have 60 Airguns in sight at the moment.
There you go. You got another place. We get like little pockets of
And there's a
Airgun
question.
stuff. Yes.
Any chance of getting a hold of an Umarex primal to do a compare and contrast to your SWA 20 gauge?
I can neither confirm, or deny that I have a 20 in my Connex.
Oh, what?
Primal.
Well, what 20? Oh. I only know the SWA, so I can't.
Look,
like
the
the
primal
SWA.
was, just so you guys, this is not like secret or anything. I called up Umarex. We're going to go over. That's all right. We are over. I called up Umarex. Actually, I called up another company, and they said, no, they're not interested. And then I called Umarex and said, on a whim, just as a kind of goofing off, hey, you guys interested in a 20 gauge shotgun? I was kind of picking on them a little bit because they had been struggling so much with the hammer. I said, you guys interested in a big board that actually works? I think that's exactly what I said to them. And they emailed me back and said, yes, we are very interested. When can we see it? I'm like, what? And so that's what happened with that whole scenario. And they wound up licensing the design and materials and concept from me and my associates, Terry Tate and his machinist, Olin Whitaker. So the three of us made an agreement with Umarex. And that's where the primal came up. And I really would love to see it come to market because we are supposed to get royalties off that gun if it ever sells. So it would be really nice. I think it is a great, they were able to do machining and mass production that we could never do to get the price affordable because manufacturing small runs of anything is super expensive. So I have some SWAs and, you know, if I'm able to sell them for what I got into them, I will be happy because I've had them sitting on the shelf and they're just very, very expensive. So yeah, they're $1,600. It's just because they're so uniquely created. There's like, we can make 10 at a time and that's super expensive. So anyway, the differences, there's going to be a lot of differences. I mean, the primal is going to be easier to cock. It's going to have a nicer trigger. It's going to have a regulated bottle. It's going to have all that stuff. It's also going to have all that complexity. The benefit of the SWA over all of that other stuff, just like 5 O-rings, man. And you can get them at Harbor Freight. I believe you can. There's like there's nothing in that gun that is proprietary special that can't be easily made or gotten. So it is like super simple and it needed to be. The whole idea behind it was that it's a super simple gun. So anyway, that's that. So anything else?
Apple Airguns said your videos inspired me to get my first Avenger. I said, we apologize. How many do you have now?
That's not nice.
I'm joking, of course. We're very pleased to inspire people in the airgun industry.
Kyle's saying the primal's unregulated. Could be. I don't know. I don't know what direction they went. They used a lot of the hammer sort of stuff in it. I know they went with a steel bottle instead of carbon fiber, and holy crap, is the front end of that gun heavy. I mean, it's probably 2 to 3 pounds heavier than SWA. It is no joke. If you don't kill them with the gun, or the animal with the gun, you beat it to death with it. Beat it to death with it for sure. I mean, like one swing, and it's all she wrote. You kill a bear with that thing. I don't try that. Kidding. Anyway, anything else going on? We can go ahead and wrap this up.
I'll wrap it up.
That's it. I haven't even pulled the trigger on the primal that I can neither confirm nor deny that I have in my Connex. Can neither confirm or deny. She's saying it's time to go. So it must be time to go. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun tonight. We're going to be doing this every week. We're getting back to it. Hope you guys can hear the change in my voice and change in my attitude and stuff over all of this stuff. It's been a hard several months, frankly, guys. It's been really, really tough. So I appreciate you guys. We haven't been here for a while. You're already back. You're already contributing. You're already hanging out. And that means a lot to me. I mean, this whole thing we do here, this is supposed to be fun. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be doing it for leisure. It should not be a stress point in our lives. This should be something we do because we enjoy it and it's fun to do it. So that's what I'm focused on. That's what we're going to be doing going forward. We have some cool videos coming out. Hope you guys will join us in watching them. My lights just died, so I guess they go for about an hour. Oh well. That's that. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I don't think there's let's see, great work. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, anyway, I think that's it. That's it.
Okay.
All right. That's it. I recently bought a surplus. All right. I'm going to just, I keep reading the comments. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Have a good time. Remember, if you want to have that conversation like all the time, go over to GatewayToAirguns.org. If you're not a member, please join up. Let them know that when you fill out the introductory post, because you need to do that so that we know you're real. Just say, hey, I saw Rick on Let's Talk Air Guns, and that's why I'm here. That would be really cool, because the mods that see it will say, all right, Rick's doing something, because that helps me look good over there. All right, that's going to be it. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. I guess weekend tomorrow. Awesome. Let's go have some fun with our Air Guns tomorrow. See ya.